Day 48 of Lessons from My Mom's Camera. If you're new here, I started this account so that I can share this journey of revisiting my mom's life through her lens with all these videos that she recorded when she was still alive. She passed away from lung cancer back in 2024, and it's been a pretty challenging experience for me to just, you know, forget sometimes. Like, look for her and then remember, oh, she's an angel. I can just tune in and like, toot 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 toot, Earth to mom, Earth to mom. Can you hear me? But yeah, she would show up for these challenges that she set for herself, and then she would share it with her Facebook community, and she would do these like cycles. So for this first cycle, it's a 77-day challenge where she challenged herself to wake up early, take a walk before checking her phone, coffee, or even her what was the other one? Breakfast. So you know what? I should, not should. I want to do that too. So maybe in the succeeding days, I'm going to also set a routine for myself to follow and create my own X number of days challenge. But for today, let's see what her message is.
Good morning and welcome to day 48 of my 77-day challenge. In case you're wondering why I'm smiling like really smiling, my cat wanted to come out and join me, I guess. Hi baby. This is Ralphie. Those of you who were with me on my first day, she came out and joined as well, so I guess she wanted to join. Hi baby. Say hi. Say hi to my friends. Okay, you want to get down now? Bye. Oh no, she wants to be petted. You gotta wait a little bit, baby. No, I guess. No, I guess we're not gonna wait. So, this is a good way not to have my hands moving all over the place, huh? So, my quote for the day comes from Francis Hodgson Burnett, and it's a beautiful quote. Sorry, it's a little bit of a mess here. Bye, Ralphie. so, so, if you look the right way, you will see that the whole world is a garden. Wow, that's so beautiful, and especially if you hear the story that goes along with it, and Rafi is trying to climb up on my leg. The story comes from a little girl who was orphaned, very sadly, tragically orphaned. Both her parents succumbed to cholera, so she was left in the care of her uncle, whose wife had also passed away, and it was a very sad household. The uncle was kind of like living a living death because he really missed his wife, and her cousin, the uncle's son, was an invalid. So it was a very sad house. But then this little girl started going out into the yard, and she discovered a secret garden. Well, there wasn't anything in it. It was dried and all the withered up and rocky. But she saw in it the beauty of the garden that would be there, and so she spent her days there. She would water the dried up ground, and she was digging up, and she took care of it, she cultivated it, and eventually the plants started to grow and there were some really beautiful flowers. So that was her secret garden because nobody else knew about it. But she saw in all those rocks and weeds and withered up, dried leaves, she saw a beautiful garden. And so because she saw it as a beautiful garden, she made it into one. Like, wow. It's like a perhaps more romantic, more beautiful way of talking about the Pygmalion, which probably we should talk about some other time. And I was actually in my library trying to find the book about the true story of this teacher. I think she worked, those of you who remember, help me put it in the comments. She was this, I think she was in the army or the Marines, and then when she got out, she wanted to teach. So she studied education, and then she got assigned to an inner city school where the kids were just there, like, get me out of here. They weren't interested in learning, or most of them did not seem interested in learning. There were gangs, there were people with bringing knives and all that. This was long before zero tolerance, I guess. But trying to remember her name, Luan, I think. Luan Johnson, I think that's the name. She actually wrote a book about it. That was what I was trying to find in my library. I think the book was My Pose Takes No, or something. And it was a little book, like a pocket book, Bantam books, I think. And she wrote about her experience. When she came into the school, their classroom, nobody was really interested in listening to her. But she saw that these were all young minds that were hungry for learning. They just didn't know it. And so she started teaching them in their language. That's going to be another talk, but you got to find it if you're interested in this attitude of looking at whatever you see and finding beauty. As she did, she found her secret garden amongst all these kids. So such a beautiful, beautiful thought, and it's a perfect fit, a perfect segue from yesterday's quote from Frederick Langsbridge, who said that two men sitting, looking out the prison bars, one sees the mud, the other sees the stars. Just a perfect segue. What I'm going to do, if I can, in the remaining days that we're together, and it's amazing how quickly the days are getting shorter, or the number of days is suddenly getting fewer and fewer. But what I want to do is to kind of have a theme, a message, if I can, every morning. So on that food for thought for this morning, which is a beautiful one, if you look the right way, you will see the entire world is a secret garden. That is just so awesome. So good morning, my friends. For those of you who are on this side of the world, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Take care. Look around you. See the secret garden that nobody else might see. And have a wonderful day. I'll talk with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. That was a very timely message. And for anyone who's noticed, I haven't been able to share a video in a few weeks. Life was lifing, and so how timely that it was. We're continuing the videos, and the video day 48 was the exact message that I needed to hear today. A little anecdote, and maybe this is my 2-minute impromptu speaking practice. What was the quote? If you look, what? Let me just replay that part.
The entire world is a secret garden. That is just so awesome. For this morning, which is a beautiful one,
Okay.
If you look the right way, you will see.
If you look the right way, if you look the right way, the world, you'll realize that the world is a secret garden. Did she say?
The world, the entire world, is a secret garden.
If you look the right way, the entire world is a secret garden. Earlier this afternoon, I was up at the roof deck, my usual spot, just looking up at the clouds and seeing the horizon change from a bright blue hue to an orange ember glow. And today was actually specifically beautiful with the rose tint and the serenity blue merging with each other as the clouds kind of outlined the sun's rays. And I said, hey, this is beautiful. And I said a little prayer of thanks. Just as I heard a voice, and it was a security guard telling me, Mom, you're not supposed to be here upstairs. Nobody is allowed access here. And I chirpily and kindly told him, hi, thank you for letting me know. I've actually told the other guards, if I could just come up here every day during this hour to just decompress after a long day of work and just stay for a few minutes, and then I'll head on down. And then as he was walking past me and kind of just grumpily acknowledging that, he mumbled, a sarcastic statement. Not even sarcastic. I think it was more like condescending, or anyway, it was a pretty disrespectful tone, with added to that, like the body language and his facial expression. And I felt on some days I would brush that off, but today specifically I felt defeated after that. I had this little time and moment to just go up and decompress and appreciate the sunset. And the roof deck that I'm talking about isn't even anything special. I couldn't even see the sun from that building because other buildings were towering above us. I was just really like looking up. But I had to remind myself about the other time that a different security guard had said that to me, and I just remained kind and I just remained, engaging, that eventually this guard, on one of the days that I was upstairs again, doing my sunset ritual, and he just happened to be the roving guard doing the rounds and checking, the floors. The guard, the previous one, by the way, not the earlier today's one. And I overheard him as he was kind of doing his rounds, and he saw me, and we've already had like this kind of unspoken agreement, and most of the guards knew that already, like, oh yeah, she just comes up here and takes like a 15-minute peek at the sunset and then goes down. She's no trouble or anything like that. So he's kind of in the loop about that. And I heard him, and he said, hey, this is actually nice, and the view is also pretty spectacular. And in that moment, I just told myself my job here is done, And in a way, I was just reminding myself of that. I'm like, patience, guy, just be an example, open somebody else's eyes to the garden that the world truly is if you look the right way. And sometimes other people just need someone to remind them of that, and maybe that was me. And so today I was just reminding myself, eventually this person is also gonna start getting curious, like, what is she really looking at there? And hopefully one day, I look forward to the day that he also says, like, hey, you know what, this is nice. I don't know if that's 2 minutes or even more. I got carried away, but that's day 48, and we'll see each other again tomorrow for day 49.